Today we are going to learn about energy transfer. In energy transfer, you need to remember here energy is relocating from one point to another point. Okay. For example, if you are heating some material from its bottom, if we are cooking something and we are heating it, so if we are heating from bottom, you can understand energy is reaching at different level. It may be reaching towards handle, it may reaching out of that pan. Okay, so there are different ways by which this energy is being transferring from one point to another. Now this energy transfer, here we will be taking heat energy. Okay, there are different types, or you can say sources of energy, but in this unit we will be learning about thermal energy. So first we can see thermal conduction. In thermal conduction, what you have to understand is it is always taking place in a solid medium. Okay, thermal conduction takes place in solid medium. So here heat energy is being transferred from one point to another point with the help of solid particles, or you can say particles of solid medium. What happens inside? Let's see that. Suppose you are taking here this kind of a rod or a solid material. You know that each and every object is made up of the minute particle atom. Okay. Suppose I am representing this circles as atom. Yeah. Now, along with these atoms, you know that who is moving around. Okay, in the atom, who is moving around, who can change its position? It is electron. So this way I am showing electron. Now you can understand here, these electrons are in motion, but if you start heating it from one point, okay, what kind of activities will be happening in this solid medium? First, you will say these atoms which are there, they are going to vibrate. They will be vibrating. They cannot change their position. You need to understand. In a solid medium, they can't change their position. They can only and only vibrate. So due to vibration, what happens? This particular particle is, without changing its position, is transferring its energy to the neighboring particle. Okay, same way this will be transferring its heat energy to the neighboring particle. This will be passing to the next one, and so on. This is how this heat energy is getting transferred or getting relocated from one point to another. But you will say metals are also solid, non-metals are also solid. So which are said to be good conductor and which are bad conductor in this? So you know that this metals are considered as good conductor of heat, while non-metals are bad conductor of heat. Why so? Because among metals they have these free electrons as well. They can move. So here when you are heating, this electron are also moving by gaining the energy. They are changing their position. They are jumping off, and due to that they transfer their energy from one point to another point. That is why metals are said to be good conductor of heat. Okay, this you understood? Two things: atoms vibrate and they transfer their energy from one point to another without changing their position. Electrons, they can move freely, so they jump off that energy from one point to another point. This is how thermal conduction takes place in a solid. But if you talk about fluid, if we talk about fluid, basically we take in this case liquid and gas. We take liquid and gas. So they are only said to be fluid. You know that particles are very close in liquid, but they are not attached, they are not bound. They can slide over each other. Okay, suppose if you are taking this kind of liquid and we are heating it from its spot, what will happen? These liquid particles which are there, they will gain energy, and these particles themselves are moving from one point to another. From colder region, you can see here, this is the colder region, upper surface, because we are heating from the bottom. So the particles which are at colder region, they will be going down, or you can say the hotter region which is there, by gaining the energy, these particles will be moving up. So they are in motion. Such kind of energy transfer wherein particles themselves carry energy and move from one point to another, we call it convection. Okay, so remember that convection takes place only and only in fluids, which is liquid and gas. Okay, in gaseous particles, suppose this container is filled with gas and you start heating, so these particles will carry energy. Okay, that is what is happening when we are heating of any object. So the air present around it is also getting warmer. So this kind of air which is there, or gas particles which are there, they will gain this energy and they will start rising. Why so? Because particles of this fluid, when they gain energy, they start moving away from each other. Due to this, their density at that particular region will decrease. Their density will decrease. Okay? Understood? So here particles are going to move from the region of higher temperature to lower temperature. That is how movement of air takes place, which is creating wind. When we are heating this air, what is happening? It is gaining energy and it is creating low pressure over here. It will create low pressure. Why? It is creating low pressure here because particles are quite away from each other. So density is less. So pressure will also be low in this case. Okay. So air particles which are in colder region, they will start moving towards low pressure. So this is how land breeze and sea breeze is created. So this is happening in fluids. Okay. Now, if we talk about radiation, so in radiation, what happens? Particles are not at all required. In short, we can say there is no need of medium. Heat is being transferred. This thermal energy is being transferred by the process of radiation, mainly infrared. Okay, so if object is heated, remember the one which absorbs more heat is going to emit more heat. Suppose if you are heating this object, okay, so it is absorbing heat and this is only going to emit heat. Okay, if you have a frying pan and you are heating it, so that pan is absorbing heat and simultaneously it releases heat in its surrounding. This is the reason sunlight is also releasing heat, and through space, through vacuum, this radiation, this heat energy can reach up to us. Remember, what are the factors which are affecting? Here you need to remember the color. The black color is absorbing more heat, so it is going to radiate more heat. It will be radiating more heat. White color, or you can say reflecting surface, if you have, it absorbs less heat, so it will emit less heat. Okay, so texture as well as color, both are important. Okay, understood? So this is all about energy transfer. Further doubt we can do next.